Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to whole class to me who are getting the knowledge from this presentation. Uh, Welcome back after a long lockdown, and inshallah, I pray that we will meet soon after this lockdown in the university with the well and good hopes. So, before we are going to start, we should have an introduction to this presentation that I am Akif Furqan Ansari, and the presentation is given to me by the respected teacher Ms. Kutsia Banu. I am the student of semester 2 in the Namal University Karachi campus, and the topic is given to me having the introduction like thinking like a researcher. So before we are going to start the presentation, what are the fruitful things we get from it? After this session, we will be able to elaborate thinking like a researcher, understand concepts, tell about constructs, variables, and definitions. So, by re-energizing your mind and to make new concept means the new ideology, the new things which are coming to your mind when you are reading some literature or when you are seeing or observing the things which have done before this and which have said before this, and you are evaluate the things in according to your ideology. What you need from it is the start of that research. So the good research should be like that. You have to think like a researcher means you have to re-energize your mind, re-evaluate the things, re-ideology of the things means re-idealize the things again. So this tool providing us visualizing the abstracts from the actual observations, mentally connecting the points to identify hidden concepts. Why means the research. What the research is, as we have studied before in our university, but again for the cause of rehabilitate our mind, that research is the systematic process of collecting and analyzing information data in order to increase our understanding of the phenomenon about which we are concerned or interested. Means that we are collecting the data, we are analyzing that data, and to increase the understanding, the perception of the reader and our own ideology of that phenomenon, that particular phenomenon which we are going to research now. So it has that research is an objective, logical, systematic, verifiable method of inquiry and analysis. Means we have to objectify the things in a logical manner with the systematic process and to verify the methods, the inquiry that whom the words are, who said these words, who have that idea, who has some kind of any saying or the writing in form of any ideology. So what is the form of inquiry, where and when and who is saying that, and after that the analyzing that what he has said is correct or wrong or according to our ideology or phenomena which we are going to research now and which we are going to put in the new ideas is accordingly or not. And it is also explained that matter of knowing the unknown things which we are reading or observing, or we are going to observe the new things is about the unknown things which we are going to know in the next research. So research involves inductive and deductive methods. Means in the research we should adopt the two methods which are inductive methods and deductive methods. In inductive methods we should analyze the observed phenomenon and identify the general principles, structures or processes underlying the phenomenon observed. Means we have to analyze and to observe the phenomena. Means what we are going to say is to observe before, and after that we have to identify the general principles, that what are the general principles should be adopted in this research according to structural wise, according to the processes which we are underlying these phenomena, and to observe the things. The second method is deductive methods. means to verify the hypothesized. Hypothesize principles through observations means to verify the things. So hypothesizing means to elaborating the things, like the purpose are different. Means the purpose of different, we have two different things in inductive methods and deductive methods. These both have different methods and different purpose and different ideology, but one is to develop the explanations. One and the inductive method is making or developing the explanation methods, and the other is to test the validity of explanation. Means we are going to test the validity, what is explanation in this research, and these explanations have some validity up to where, which date or which time this validity of this method is, or the ideology or the phenomenon is valid. And the first one, that inductive method, we should just develop the explanations, that what we are going to explain it is to developing the things, developing the ideas which we are going to research now. So obviously it is explained as a method of knowing the unknown things. One thing that we have to pay attention to research this, that the heart of the research is not an statistics, means but the thinking behind the research. Means one, we have to pay the attention. Research is the heart of the research. Research is the heart of research, is not the statistics. Means the statistics is, or it is not only the statistics that we are going to research now, but we are thinking, what we are ideologize the things, and we are putting the things again in the new ideas, that is called the research. So how we really want to find out how we build arguments about ideas, concepts, and with what evidence we have, we can support to encourage people to accept our arguments. Means we are going to encourage or convince the people that what we are going to say, what we are going to write, or what we are going to putting new things and according to new ideology is right, and you should have to read it with the interest, and what we are saying is a good, is right, and equal and righteous thing. Again, the thinking like researcher that begins with the curiosity. The new curiosity thinks that how the topics to the questions, from the questions to the problem, from the problems to the sources, that what the curiosity is. Means, well, according to a teacher, that we are going to research down to what are the questions, that WH questions, that why, what, how, where, that these are the questions that are arising in our mind, and we are going to have the curiosity about this research. So you might have chosen your topic simply, and you want to know more about it. However, translating these personal interests into a specific and focused research project, one that we will matter to your readers, requires three key steps. You will base the arguments of your project upon the questions and problems you raise, and solution you propose, supported by your sources. Means the research should be like, from the topics to question, from questions to a problem, from problem to sources. So the first thing is the from question to a problem. Your question should be like the solution to the problem. Means your question is according to your research, that where you are going to turn the reader, that your saying or your writing or your idea is good, is righteous. So you should put the question like the solution of that question would be in the favor of your research. So this is the questions to a problem, and according to a template, you should make a template like to map the basic arguments, that context or topic, problems, and what are the responses. Another one, the topics to questions, that questions and the so from the topic to the questions, as you focus on the topic, you need to raise questions before turning to sources related to the topic. For example, how does this topic compare or contrast with other like it? Means, for example, how would things be different if this topic never existed? And most importantly, so what? What is the research? you are engaging your reader's attention. We can have three parts templates for identifying the research questions that will move your project toward answering forward. Means the topic which I am studying is what? Another one question, because I want to find out what, why, and how. What the research is, this is the question. This will be the questions that what, why, how, where, when. Another one, significance. Then, in order to help my readers best understanding that what we are going or I am going to say is accordingly to the new ideology, and I am going to convince the reader that I am going to turn the thinking of that reader that my writing or my ideology is actual and righteous thing. So the next thing is from problem to sources. That what is the problem? What is the new ideology which we are going to put in the research is getting from the sources. Means the other researchers do what they do in their research. So we have to follow like in the form of sources. That as you read the map out how the other researchers pose the questions and problems of their projects. We should put the questions like this, that you have the approach towards the understanding, towards the approaching towards the problem, and what is the overall structure of your argument will be the clearer one, and it should be in the understandable form. Here we have five essential strategies engaging with your sources, and we have very less time while recording this video. For this recording with this video, I'm just going through these points very fastly. So please be connected and be with me. And just we have another one. Defining terms. What terms or concepts are more essential to your topic? That what are the main points, the key points of research would be the effective one. What are these points? What will be these terms would be? And do an understanding of your topic depend on how you define certain terms. That what are the perception, what are the understandings towards your topics. That how you define the certain things, means how to elaborate the things to the reader. And elegant, another one, locating controversies. What we are most essential points of the conflict or debate concerning your topic, the turning point, the twisting point of your research would be most essential point in the locating controversies. And where do your ideas fit into your arguments? That what you are going to put new ideas, so in these arguments you have to put in a very righteous way, in a very judicious way, that the reader would turn his ideas according to your ideology. And identifying gaps, that what are the gaps what we have either the other missed or overlooked in discussion of your topic. What does applying a new perspective or idea to your topic reveal? That what are the perspective, what are the things that we are going to turn our ideology according to the writer's ideology. Responding to the critics, that what the critics, what your writing should be like in the form of responding the critics. That while the critics will read your writing or your ideology, that see or observe your ideology, so it should be the responding one. Means you should have some points in your writing or in your research, and you can answer them very easily if they critically analyze your research. So the next point is the concepts, the understanding the concepts about the what the concepts are in the research. So concepts are the empirical abstractions to classify new natural phenomena. Means empirical abstractions to classify the natural phenomena. The natural phenomena should be classified in the empirical form. And as we know, most in scientific research tend to be explanatory type, in that we search for potential explanations of nature or social phenomena. Explanations are required developing of concepts or characteristics associated with objects, events, or people. Means the things would be changed according to explanations, that what the explanations would be required in the research. After that, while project objects such as a person, a firm, a car are not the concepts, they are specific characteristics or behavior. Such a person, attitude towards migrants, a firm, capacity for innovation, and a car way can be viewed as concepts. For instance, the idea of gravitation, borrowed from physics, can be used in business to describe why people tend to gravitate to their preferred shopping destinations. Means the gravitation means the thing which we are which is pulling towards the shopping. So we are making that concepts of gravitate in sense of pulling the things, pulling the human beings for the shopping, or pulling the people for the shopping. So that pulling force we are going to making the concept in shape of gravitate. Knowingly and unknowingly, we are different kinds of concepts in our everyday conversations. Like we are putting the different things in our sayings, in our conversation in different form. Like for example, if I say, "Just come and fast as you fly," that's a human cannot fly, but I am just saying that I'm putting the idea of flying to make it possible very currently, promptly, and very fastly. So the concepts makes that understanding. Constructs and definitions, that some concepts are observable and easy distinguished from the others, but other concepts are less tangible. Means your concept will be not according to the mark, according to the main at the end point. Can be defined as inference. A construct is an abstract concept that is specifically chosen or created to explain a given phenomena. A construct may be a simple concept such as a person's weight, combination of set of related concepts such as person's communication skill, which may consist of several underlying concepts. Yes, we have that. The weight of a person is according to the simple concept. But another one, the several underlying concept which we have the personal skills. So the personal skills have different and very vast and very wide area to cover it, and these concepts are the specific one. Distinction between the constructs and concepts is a clear multidimensional constructs where the higher order abstractions are called constructs and the lower order abstractions are called concepts. Means the simple thing is called concepts. But the constructs means that we have the idea, the concept, the actual concept, but according to this idea, we have different points to discuss. We have different points to write on it. We have different points according to underlie in one point, and we have different points to discuss or to write or making new ideologies according to it. Precise and clear definitions are used for the constructs in a scientific research. Means constructs and definition. In definitions, we have the precise and clear definitions. We have two types of definitions, like dictionary definitions and operation definitions. In the dictionary definition, these are the constructs are often defined in terms of synonym. For example, attitude may be defined as a disposition, a feeling, or affect, but in turn they define as attitude. Such definitions of a circular nature are not particularly useful in scientific research for elaborating the meaning and content of the construct. Scientific research requires operational definitions, like they define constructs in the terms of how they will empirically measured. For instance, the operational definitions of the constructs such as temperature. So the temperature would be in sense of Celsius, Kelvin, or the units of that particular thing. But in the general dictionary of the definitions, we should have simple concept, but we in the scientific research we should have according to a scientific dictionary, or operation definitions is different one. One can imagine that concept that such as learning personally, intelligence can be quite hard to define operationally. And the last but not the least, the types of variables. We have that variables that according to the research, we should follow these variables that according to this research, first of all we have independent variables. It is the condition that we change in the experiment, that this condition can be changed very fastly in the experiment. Dependent variables, that it depends upon the values of the result from the independent variables. Another one is moderator variable. It has three strong contingent of effect on the independent and dependent variable relationships. Intervening variables means intervene means to interfere in shape of reply variable is that it exists in inferred, but it cannot be measured and manipulated. It should be the specific one. It cannot be changeable. It should be in a original form. Control variable means the factor is kept constant throughout the experiment, but in order to test the relative relationships, independent and depend variables. Extraneous variable, it is the factor in the research which may have an effect on dependent variables but which we are not control. This variable is very dangerous. It may damage a study's validity. So thank you guys. The study was about the research and thinking like research, about what we have studied, that we have studied about the thinking like researchers, the variables, the definitions and the concepts, and all the things which you are using in the research would be the more fruitful things that we have discussed here. So hope that what I have discussed is what I have told you is the thing that you will get it. But if you have any query, you can answer me, you can ask me from the WhatsApp, from the Facebook, from the Instagram. Thank you. This is Akif Furqan Ansari, and Assalamu alaikum to my classmates.